Hi, I'm Commissioner Nancy Jester, and welcome to Nancy Jester Reports for Tuesday, September 5th, 2017. Today, your Board of Commissioners met as a committee of the whole, where we reviewed our agenda and set it for next week where we'll vote, and also did some presentations. We had a pretty light agenda. The most important thing that we did today was we had a brief discussion on some components of SPLOST that may come before you in the form of a referendum for an extra penny sales tax in November. I will be giving you my thoughts more fully on that subject matter in another video, and I'll write something about it as well. So I'm very concerned about adding another penny to our sales tax, and that would take us to 8 pennies. I've big concerns about that. I understand why some folks want to do that, but we'll talk more about that later. But today they went over some particular plans that they have for capital maintenance in parks, but it did give me pause because the SPLOST referendum is limited to transportation issues, public safety, and you can spend 15% of the revenues on capital maintenance. So putting roofs on, fixing HVAC systems, those types of things I think were what was envisioned with that. These list of park projects are all very worthy. I don't have an issue with that. I'm just concerned that unless they're fixing something or maintaining something that's already there, if it's adding something new or enlarging something, I don't think that would fit the letter of the law with SPLOST. So I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm concerned a little bit about that. It could be completely doable as far as the legality of it, but I have asked that question. So we did most of our work today in committee. So we had our Public Works and Infrastructure Committee meeting today. I sit on that committee. A couple of things to draw your attention to. One, if you haven't taken a look at it, I have written a blog post about our sanitary sewer overflows, the recent ones, and some of my thoughts about how we're managing the federal consent decree we're under for that. So you can take a look at that on my blog. You can go to nancyjester.com and click on it, or the address is blog.nancyjester.com. So today we were going over some projects, and one of the things I mentioned in my letter, and one of the things that was on this particular spreadsheet that we looked at, is just some of the slowness with which we are getting some things done, some major sewer rehabilitation projects. Those things that are in green are consent decree projects, and so I've been very concerned about how some of our design build packages for sewer rehabilitation and replacement have been really just bottlenecked and stuck in the administration. And these are the types of projects that will go in and they will do some of the big transformations in the sewer system so that we won't have these spills. Well, the board approved one of these packages on April 11th, and the administration still hadn't signed it as of last week. I understand that they've recently gotten a signature on that. They said it was due to contract negotiations, but that's just way too long. When the board approved something in April and now we're in September, that's just way too long. We need to make sure we're absolutely aggressively pursuing our goals and our deadlines with regard to the consent decree and the rehabilitation of our sewer system. So I will continue to stay on top of that and report back to you what I see. We have that package, or that contract may have had a signature, but we have 3 more we need to get out through the procurement door that we haven't done yet. So that was Public Works. Let's see. Would like to talk about our Finance Committee meeting. So I do chair the Finance Committee, and today we talked about 2 subjects. We talked about potential Grady bonds. Grady hasn't had any capital investment. I think it's been 25 years since they've expanded the rooms in the hospital. Now you've seen these other things. They've gotten a lot of philanthropic monies to come in for various centers, specific treatment options, but expanding the rooms hasn't, and the number of beds at the hospital has not happened in over 25 years, I believe. So we did talk in FAB today about what this particular bond issuance might look like. We went over, let's see, where am I? I had a handout about. Here we go. Here's a handout we got. We talked to our financial advisor who consults with the county on financial matters, including most of our bond, I think all of our bond issuances and so on. And so we talked about what, where we are now. We have some, basically there wouldn't be any change to the millage rate we have for Grady. We have some debt that is wearing away in the next couple of years, and actually this debt issuance would result actually in a lower millage rate. There would be some savings there because after we paid off the existing debt. So all in all, if the debt is taken out, if indeed the board approves that, you would actually see a lower millage rate than you currently have. So because again, some debt is wearing away. Again, it's a good return on investment because you're going to have so much philanthropic capital in there. So you're really leveraging the taxpayers' dollars for this public good with Grady. So that's something we're discussing. We did go over that today in finance. The other thing we did, which was real important, was to go over the comprehensive annual financial report. You'll hear us call that the CAFR. So we did that today. We went over with the auditor Malden and Jenkins where they are. This is a much improved timeline than we had last year. Last year we didn't get the audit and it had 8 findings, some significant findings until, gosh, it was almost the end of the year before we got the previous year's audit. That is unacceptable. We took great strides to correct some of the accounting issues and lack of work that was being done during the year. So last year, about halfway through the year, a lot of reforms took place. So we were able to get the audit done, get the restatement done a lot more timely. It's not perfect. I really would have liked it a couple of months sooner, but we got it now, and so we went over most of it today in FAB. At our next FAB meeting, we'll go over it again. We'll go over the findings. We're down from 8 findings to 5, and since I just got it today, I can't really speak to the findings yet. Once I do, I'll talk about that in another video. But we went from being super late on the audit to just a little bit behind, and instead of 8 findings, went to 5 findings, and so hopefully we'll be improving that next year. But I'm happy about the direction we're going, so we'll continue to follow that. There will be more on that in a future video, like I said. Also, we'll talk more about SPLOST on another video. So that sums it up for today, September 5th. So join me next week for another edition of Nancy Jester Reports.